Welcome back, and in this video I'm going to set up a Wally character so that we can move between this room and this room, and all that's coming up now. Right, so the initial room is the hoist map screen, but it's not actually the hoist map screen in the original game. It is actually the warehouse. So we're going to have to come up with like a way to transform that. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to put whatever the current room is. So serialized field, private, in warehouse. There you go. In warehouse. And then inside here, we're just going to decide which room it's going to be. So this is the common elements. So what we can do is we can say var common elements equals in the warehouse. Then we want to do level workshop map screen dot common elements. Otherwise we want to do level hoist map screen dot common elements. And then we are going to go and grab that in there. And then what I think we want to do is we want to know what these objects are. So they're all going to be ZX objects. We know that we can clear them. So what I'm gonna do is I want to describe the room there. So I want to say describe room. Public void describe room. I'm going to make it public for just now, because I want to be able to get the state machine to change whatever the room you're supposed to be in. Because what I want to do is one of the things I want to do in this video is I want to flick between the workshop room and the hoist room. So in order to do that, I need to be able to describe the room. And when we change the room, what I want to do is I want to destroy everything inside that room there. So describe room, let's do for each var object in ZX objects, destroy game object. Now what this means though is we're going to have Wally's going to be in this, as are all the sort of the things that he can interact with is going to be in this, which means that we can't have state on those things. The only thing we can have is the X and Y coordinates, because that's the visualization of it. So all the data and everything is going to have to go inside like a game state manager type object that we can define later on. But for now, all we're interested in is how things move around the screen. So this will be good for us just now. The other thing is we need to remove all those objects there. So we want to destroy those objects, and then we want to remove those objects. So we want to do ZX spectrum remove objects. And this is going to be our ZX objects. Okay, and then I'm going to go to here and then remove objects. Objects dot remove range. Oh no, sorry, remove all. Okay, remove all. And then X, old objects contains X. Sure. So we remove everything that is contained inside that enumerable. And then, yeah, we're good to go at that point. So our didn't flick over there. Why didn't I do that? Okay, so we now have this this one here, so we can do our in warehouse, and when we run this, we should get the warehouse. So we don't have the warehouse just yet, because the warehouse room, if I select that, oh, we're not looking, wait. Oh, hold on, sorry, level 1. Yeah, there you go, level 1 there. And then level 1 workshop has nothing in it, so we need to fill it with things. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just now. One of the things I did think of though was we have our room here, which has got all these wonderful things inside there, all these different elements there. The problem I see though is that each one of these, it means that if I go to the ceiling, I have ceiling here, and then that's the prefab, which is the girder ceiling and all that kind of stuff. But the problem I've got is we've got, where are we? Is it this one here? Yeah, each one of these has their own thing, which is a bit annoying. I'd rather it didn't have that, because this is part of our attributes here. So we have this idea of an attribute run. I think this is a bit clunky, and I'm not convinced it's a good idea. So I might have a think about this and come back and come up with a different thing. But in essence, we'll get to that later. What we need to do though now is I'm going to create the level for the workshop, and I'll do that just now. Okay, I've got enough to be getting on with. So I've got this. It's just the fan thing there. But what I'm going to do is change that fan thing to Wally, and then we can get him to move from left to right. And then once we get him to move left to right, we can then get him to move through a door. Okay, so let's get rid of fan temp. We don't need that, and we will create a new, so 8x8. These are blocks, and these are sprites. And I think we also have a Wally week as well. There we go. Okay, so let's have Wally is turning to the. We can probably transfer some of these. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So let's just have Wally there, and we'll call him Wally. And he needs a ZX object as well. And then we've got our list of attributes. So we need to have our new attribute run. So our new attribute run is gonna be new. Can we do a new one here? No, we can't. Let's do Wally. So he is, what size of sprite is he? I think he's 2x4, if I remember rightly. We can go back up to here and open the sprite editor, and he is height 32 and width of 16, which means he is 2x4. Okay, so we can go to our common level 1 maps. These are increasingly badly named folders. These will be called mobs, and I'll call this one Wally. And this is going to be a attribute run, Wally attributes, and the ink is that paper is black, position 00, and the size is 2x4. Okay. Let me go back to Wally, and we do our attribute run there. boom. And then his starting point is going to be 16. Let's have a, because he's a Z80 object. Do we have a starting point? No, we don't. Okay, so his starting point is going to be 16. So there he is there. And then minus 168. I think that's right. Is going to be the starting point for Wally. So when we run this, Wally should be yellow and he should be in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. Well, he's white, which is no good because we haven't added him. That's why. So we need to add him to the list of screen objects. So let's create this one here, and then we'll do so we have these as public attributes. That's fine. Public add on startup start, and then we'll say if add on startup ZX Spectrum screen dot instance dot add object this, and we'll add him automatically, and in that way we don't need to worry about having to add boilerplate code to do the same, to keep adding objects. And let's do this here. There we go. That still did not work. Oh, because we never added them in startup, that's why. Well, that helps. It helps if you hit the checkbox. Well, did not like that. Okay, why is it not liking that? 94. Ink colors index. Run.ink. Index is less than 0, or index is greater than 768. Throw new argument. Range exception. Index is invalid value. Let's see what this is. Is it because it's out? No, he's not in the bottom of the screen, is he? No, he's not. Minus 30 is invalid value. How are we getting minus 30? Wait, what? We weren't getting this before, and I don't understand why it's different for... Oh, I'll tell you why. Because I bet you Wally doesn't start at 0. Let's go back into the sprite editor. Yeah, okay. So let's do slice, and then we'll do it from top left. Delete existing. No, I don't want automatic. Cell size, and then let's make that 16 by 32. That gives us that top left slice. Okay, so now it's up there. Apply, okay, and add that there. And now you see what the problem is that he's down there. That's why. So we need to bring him up. So it's going to be actually it's going to be 100 and it's 170 192 minus 16, which is 182 176. No, that's right. No. Wait, what? Oh, because it all right, okay, because it's the it's going to be minus 32 as well. Oh my god. Where is math when you need it? Okay, so that's gonna be 192 minus 32 is 160 minus 8, which is 151. Okay. Right, okay, so it's minus 151. 52 1 minus 151. No. I was right when I said 152. Don't know where I'm getting 151 from. That would be an odd number. Okay, so there you go. So there is Wally. He is yellow and he is there. Okay, so now we want to move him through the door. And to do that, what we can do is we have our input system. We could use this. I'm not opposed to using it. It's I mean, it's fine. Maybe we should use this. Yeah, okay. I can't remember how to use it though, that's the problem. So I think that input actions is there, and I think you just need to add an input actions on here. But obviously we don't want it on the ZX object itself. But where do we get that from? Hold on a sec. Where is the fan temp? Okay. So this is our fan temp. So we did our little update here, and then at the very end there, we decided we're gonna make it an int so that it always adds up correctly. But when we display it, we do it to the hard pixel lines, which is where we kind of want to go. I don't want to repeat all this code though every time we do this. So what I think I should do is I think inside our ZX object, do I want a movable ZX object? I don't know if I do. But if we are moving it, then we should do this. So I think we should do private void update, and then we do on update, and then transform dot position dot pause equals new vector 3, and then this is just going to be int pause dot x, int pause dot y, and 0. And where we're getting pause from, well, that's going to be a private pause there, and then on update is going to be what we want it to be, which means we need to extend it, which is fine. Okay. So then we have protected on update. Actually, you know what? Vector. No, let's just do void on update. virtual void on update. Okay, and then our private becomes a protected position. So we do our positional update there, and then we do the automatic transform there. So we just need to worry about one thing and one thing only. And then on startup, we need to say pause equals transform.position. So we want to make sure that the position is going to be at the right position. In fact, let's make that an awake. So when it starts up, it automatically goes to the transformation position. Okay. Right, and then we will have a new. Let's copy this here. Mobs, add new item, and then we'll call this Wally mob. And call this Wally mob. ZX object. Okay. And I don't need protected because it's already coming from there. I don't need attribute. I don't need draw order. I don't need that. I don't need awake. I don't need start. I don't need update. But what I do need is on update, which is the only thing that I need. So let's get rid of that. And then we should have access to pause in here, which we do. Now, how am I going to change this over? Well, I'm going to use a little cheating. So we have our Wally here. If I go into, you notice we got this ZX object, and it's that I'm probably teaching people how to suck eggs, but I just learned about this week. I know I've been using Unity since 2014 or something. Anyway, you learn, every day is a school day. So if I go into debug mode, I can change the script. So if I go to where are we here? Go to our ZX object, and instead of ZX object, I choose our Wally mob script, and then I go back into our normal mode. You'll see that the Wally mob, it hasn't changed anything. It still says everything there, but it's just changed the script, and it saves mucking around and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So everything should be everything should be broken. So I think what we need to do is if we go to our script there, and instead of saying that position, let's do this on startup. I don't even like that either. How do we know? But for now, we'll put it in there, because if we're moving it around, we need it to know that it's moving. Actually, maybe what we need to do is, instead of having it in ZX object, maybe we need to have, let's create a new item here. Let's call this ZX mob. And then grab all that. ZX mob, ZX object. So the object is take out the position part of, oh no, we need the position part of it, sorry. We don't need the attributes, you don't need the draw order, we don't need that. Actually, I'm going to keep that one there, get rid of these. Add-on startup, because I'm going to get rid of the add-on startup inside the ZX object, because I don't want it to be here. Get rid of that. So I don't need start. don't need update, and I don't need on update, so I get rid of that. And I don't need position either. Okay, so ZX object goes back to where it was, and then this one, that's the one that changes, and then our Wally mob extends from ZX mob there. Okay, and that should fix everything back to where it was. Everything should be hunky-dory. There we go. Okay. Although, okay, yeah. There's the zoom. I got the zoom wrong. Right. Okay. So the next thing to do is I want to alter. I want the input actions there. So I want to have public input actions. Is it input actions? Input action. Input action. And go back to here. And then how's it input system? No, it's input actions. Input action. Input action asset, that's the one. Actions, okay. And then this is what I mean is I don't get to use this that often. So okay, so there's input actions. So I drag this into there. That puts that in there. So now what I can do is and I think I can do how do I do this again? Okay, I'm gonna go and look at this up because it's taking time out of this thing. Alright, I remember how to do it now. So when you go to here, click on generate C sharp class, it then creates this class in here, click on apply, and then you can then use this yeah, you can use this to generate your bindings and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I don't think where are we, Wally? We'll grab that and drag it in there. Okay, I don't think I can. Yeah. Oh, that's right, because it's a partial class. That's one of these weird things I've got here. Okay, so it creates this class here, and then it brings this whole thing together, and then I think you can just do. So it created the script, and it turns out you just need to do this couple of lines of code here, and then you can do the action performance. I probably don't even need the on update part of it, so I'm going to leave that out there. The value you get back is going to be a vector, so object dot read value vector 2D, I think it was going to be. In fact, I can go into here. I looked at the website there, so that's kind of where we are. Apparently this is the easiest way to do it, so yeah, they keep changing input systems and God knows what else, so who knows. So it is a vector 2 that's coming back, so that's good. And then we have a jump, which is going to be a button, so that's just going to be a true or false kind of thing. So for the vector, we only want to move left and right. So we're going to do whatever the value of x is. So it's going to be x is going to be that. And then we want to add that to the position. So that's going to be pos x plus equals, and then it's going to be x times, and then it's going to be whatever the speed is. So let's say it is 16 pixels a second. Do we want it to be 16? Let's make it 32 pixels a second times time dot delta time. And that's going to update our player. Although I did notice that it's jumping up here for some reason. So we need to figure that one out as well. So yeah, it jumps up to here, which obviously is not good. So this is Wally mob. We've got our attributes here, draw an order. Okay, so the Wally mob is okay. I don't know why it's jumping up there though. That's weird, because it is set to be that, and also the attributes are not printing properly. So my let's see what it actually. I was going to say my guess is, but let's figure it out. So Wally is there, but the attributes are not there, so they're actually 16 in there. I'll see that's set in zeros. Why is that set in zeros? That's weird. Okay. So our Wally mob is ZX mob, so our update is whatever pos X is and whatever pos Y is, so our position is going to be our transform position. So that doesn't make any sense. So attach to Unity. Okay. And this has got add-on startup, so we'll grab that there. Hit this. Keep going. What? Oh, because it's overwriting that. That's why. Okay, let's do base.start. I don't think we needed to do base.start. What to do start? No, you don't call start. So that's not calling that at all. So if you add that on startup, hold up. Okay, right, okay, so if we do nothing, if we do absolutely nothing, this is going to be at 16 minus 152. So our position isn't going to get set though on there. So that is going to set the position to be 0, 0, which does make sense. But that means that this add-on startup is not getting called. Public override start. So if I do that there, and then because it just has to be cold start. I don't think it matters about the overwrite virtual. Okay. Beginning to wonder if I should have made this ZX object a separate class, like not had it involved with the mob, but let me come to that. Okay, that worked. Right, so we move left and right. No, that's not working. No. Why is that not working? So that's update there. Don't really need to call on update. And Wally mob is that. So if I hit the right arrow, it does do that. So x is 1. X is 1 times 32 times delta time. And x is 16.67. Okay. And then in our mob code, we have our position, which should fire, which is right. And then our position is going to be, yeah, okay. So that's going to be that. Is it just because it's too slow? I mean, that seems really slow. Oh, no, it is doing it. It's just doing it really slowly. That seems way slower than 16 pixels. Okay. Let's make that 128. Seems way faster than we need it to be. Oh, that's why. Because it's when I hit. Okay. Let's bring that back to 16. And then this is not going to be performed. It's going to be started. No, performed. Oh, right. Okay, that's why. Okay. Started, performing, cancelled. Okay. I remember now. Okay, started, performing, cancelled. So move action dot cancelled. Move action cancelled. Okay. Move action dot perform cancelled. What's the other one? Perform cancelled. Is it just performed and cancelled? Oh, okay. That's fine. All right. So let's have a override on update. Okay. So we do need an on update. So I'm going to have a private float x. And then I'm going to say x equals that, and pos dot x plus equals x. So whatever x is that. And then when you cancel it, I'm going to say x equals 0. So when we perform it, we set X to be whatever that value is that we read in, and then when we cancel it, we set it to be 0. And have I got this set up? So it's 16. So every second. So I think it's 2 character widths, which is 32 per movement per second. Yeah, per second. Well, too fast. Oh, look at that color clash. I kind of skated back a bit too fast there. Oh, look at the color clash. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, so much color clash. Okay. Although I think the draw order is wrong. I think the draw order for him should be like 9,000 because he should be in front of everything. So the ladder should actually be yellow and not green. So let me go over here. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay. All right. So when actually that is fast enough. That is fast enough. Although that's too fast. So when he hits here, oh, look at that color clash. It's so good. When he hits here, then we move into the next room, and you can see that when he moves off the screen, we don't see him as well, which is good. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's work that one out. I think what we need to do is we need to have bounding boxes, and in order to do that, he needs to be the door needs to have a bounding box on it, I think, as well. So I'm going to add a bounding box here. Box collider 2D, and click on gizmos so we can see what we're doing. Offset is 860, is that right? Scene. Oh yeah, okay, that's fine. So that's pretty close to what we want them to be. Let's bring them in a little bit more just to make it a little bit tighter, because the collision control is a little bit forgiving, shall we say. So instead of that, let's make it 14, and then make it 7. Okay, and then the height is, that's right, and then 30. Okay, so just make it a little bit tighter. Although we do want to, let's make that 32 because we want to be able to hit the ground, so to speak. So that's fine there. And then for our, where's our prefabs, our door? Okay, so there's the door there. So door on left, we're going to add our box collider 2D, which is way up the top left hand corner there. That's fine, the fact it's 2, but the offset for it, let's bring it in. Where's 2D? There we go, there's 2D. So our offset is going to be about here. That's fine. So 6. 7. Okay. And let's make that 16. Minus 16. No, it's not, is it? It's not minus 16, it's minus 20. I think that's right. Yeah. And then the height is going to be that. Okay. All right. So height is 40. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing again for the other door. So our other door is going to also have a box collider 2D. And then it's going to be offset at 1. And it's going to be 2 wide, 40 deep, minus 20. And I think that's right. Yeah, that looks like it's going to draw the box in correctly. Okay. And that is our bounding box. So that's good. All right. So we now need to figure out if the binding boxes are binding. Now, should we rely on the physics system of Unity? Because I've got a funny feeling if I make this kinematic, it's not going to work. But we'll see. This is always a chore. Never get it quite right. First time collision detection. But we'll see how we go on. Right, so if I grab Wally here and I add a rigid body to him, because you need a rigid body for the physics to work. Rigid body 2D. And then I say it is kinematic. Constraints. Yeah, let's just leave it as that just now. Actually, freeze rotation on Z. We don't want it to rotate. If I didn't work there, that's fine. So if I go to our code again, and this is our Wally mob, and I do on trigger enter 2D print collision dot name. Okay. And I go to the door and I make sure that this door is a trigger. Is trigger and is trigger, and then we give it a tag and we'll call this door. I was up all night thinking of these tags, so we'll go back to here and I'll call this door, and then in our other one I will also call this door as well, because we just want them to be doors. Right. And run this, and there we go. It hit, which is good. Nice. Okay. Door on right. All right. So now that we have that, we can now determine if we are moving from one room to the next. So what we can do is let's have a game controller. So I'll create a game controller. Where are we? Scripts, housekeeping, level builder. Let's just call this game controller. Game controller. And I'm going to drag that onto level builder, and I'm going to rename level builder game controller. And that one there needs to know level builder. And then when that hits, I need it to tell that. So I'm I'm going to have our game controller be informed. But it needs to know, do I want to tie it to it, or do I want to just I think I want to tie it to it. I'm never going to use this piece of code anyway. This game controller is specifically for this particular game, so rather than being clever about it and having like reusing it and all that kind of stuff, I don't really need to reuse it. So I'm just going to create a private game controller, because there's going to be one game controller. Instance public static instance get if instance equals null, instance equals find first game controller null, and I want to do instance equals new game object game component game controller. Turn instance. So I should find this instance anyway. Alright. And then I want to tell it to change rooms here. So I want to have a public change rooms. And then in our Wally controller, Wally mob, because the Wally mob is going to disappear anyway, we can stop processing things. So I can do private will stop processing. Stop processing collisions, and I can say if stop processing collisions return. Otherwise, if collision dot tag equals door true, and I want to say game controller dot instance dot change rooms. Okay. And then our level builder. Where are we? Level builder. And we'll have serialized field, private transform. And this is going to be actually it's going to be vector 3 warehouse Wally start equals new vector 3, and it's going to be 16 minus 152. And for our hoist room start, room Wally start, that is going to be the same on the Y, but it's going to be 250. Is that right? 250, 248. 248. I think it's 248 across. Okay. So for this, we also need to know serialized field, private game object, Wally mob. And this is where we start to the rubber hits the road, and we start to move things around. So I'm going to do prefabs, and in this one I'm going to create, got one for mobs, here we go, and then let's just call this Wally. Boom. And then inside our game controller we have our level builder. We're going to drag in Wally there, and then we're going to drag in our level builder there. And not that one. On our level builder here. And so this is going to create all these objects here. And then what we want to do is we want to add our Wally object. So we want to say instantiate, var Wally equals instantiate our Wally mob. And then it's going to be our position, which is going to be Wally start. And quaternion dot identity, because we don't want to rotate it. And Wally start is going to be var Wally start equals in warehouse Wally start warehouse. Otherwise, we want to start it in hoist room Wally start. And that adds it to the objects straight away. And that also deletes the object because it's a ZX object. Because it's already registered. So everything gets cleaned up, everything's working fine there. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Right, so, and then we need to do our change room. Okay, so our change room is going to be level builder dot is, hold on. Actually, you know what? Let's do public void change room is in warehouse equals not in warehouse describe room. There you go. Simple as that. We're just flipping whatever the room you're in. So we'll call that level builder dot change room. And we'll change that to change room as well, just to keep it consistent. And that should change our room across. If I've not missed anything out, which I don't think I have. So I want to stop processing there, so when that gets killed, do I have to delete these things? I guess I do actually. Let's be a good Unity citizen, so we can say void on destroy. And then we can get rid of these. Minus equals. And then instead of these being here, we can add them as fields. There we go. And then let's make that I just want the sign of this. I don't actually want whether it's an X and Y. I'm only interested in the direction of it. So I don't really care what the value is. The value is whatever this is. So whatever, if it's 32 times 0.5, then it's going to be 16. And then inside our instance, we got our change thing there. I don't know why that's there. Oh no, I do know why that is there. Yeah, sorry, that's in the right place because this is our singleton. All right, let's fire it up. Okay, so that's us in the warehouse, so we can move left and right, and then we move too far over here. Boink. We end up over here. Whoa. Whoa. Well, that ain't good. Okay. Oh, I know why. Because I have the hoist room route. Right. Hoist room route. I don't need this warehouse room route. Why was I getting errors there? I was getting errors there as well. So I go in here. So this guy here, he shouldn't be here. I just want to clear all objects, really, don't I? I don't really care about everything else. So this is complaining about ZX object has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. Okay, I just want to remove them all, don't I? Okay. Remove objects, remove all. All. Okay, and then in game controller, nope, level builder, remove all. So we want to destroy the game objects, and then we want to remove them all. Actually, let's do remove first before we destroy them. So we remove them from the list first, then we destroy the objects, and that should stop any error messages there. And then we're adding all these objects here, and then we're getting so that should be okay. And then that can go, and yeah, so that is a bit of a problem. So for some reason, these are all, so that's in the right place. Okay, that there. But if I go and grab the screen and I just drag it out, you'll see that we have this spurious guy here. So for some reason, he is still clicking around. And I guess that's what that one is there. So he should not be there, this guy. I did this up here, so I should have created a Wally field up there. So we need to create a mob field, actually. And then get rid of them. So let's do list, and then let's call this mobs. Mobs equals new, and I'm going to remove all of them, and I'm going to say for each our mob in mobs, destroy mob. Add that there. Okay. Okay. Right. So move back away and then move back in there. And well, still got the same problem. So for some reason, this guy is just wandering around in the wrong screen. Also, where's the colour gone? Oh, this is not working the way I thought it was going to work. Right, so what's happening is that this guy here, this Wally here, this Wally here is in this screen. But when we move him, when we keep moving him that way, he's actually in the render screen now. So this is him rendering over the top of the render screen. And then we move him back over here. This is him in the actual gameplay screen. So he should here trigger the door, and he's not triggering the door, which is a problem. But also we have these exceptions here, which we need to figure out as well. So let's do that just now. So if I go back to our game controller, so level builder. This is all our remove code here. So we want to remove everything there, and we want to destroy the game objects. Maybe what we want to do is we want to destroy everything in there anyway, but we're doing that. So we're removing everything there. Remove all. Clear. And then for some reason it's saying the object of type ZX object has been destroyed, but you're trying to access it. Okay. And this is in line 81. So I'm going to say if object print object.name. So although this is a bit weird, I'm saying if there's no object, print the object. It's because it's a Unity object, so we should have access to it, albeit briefly. Right, so let's test that theory. Not albeit briefly, but while it's in memory. So hit that there. And we never got anything displayed. Why not? Okay. Well, so much for that plan. Hold up there. Right, so it's trying to access it. I think what I want to do is this hitting this inside the update, and then that's causing a problem later on. But the thing is, it's not adding those values correctly when we put it back in there. So if I do the change room thing, it's going to come in here, and then it's going to say do all these things and then describe the room. So it's going to remove all the items. So it's going to clear all the items, which should fix all of this. Because this is is fixing the list of objects, which should have nothing in it at this point. And then it's destroying all those objects, and then it recreates all the objects here. All objects, destroy game object, destroy the mobs. And it goes through all the common elements, and it creates a new instance of them, and it sets the local position to be that, and it sets the game object to be that, adds it to it, and then adds the range, okay, and then creates a new instance of Wally, which is right. So when I go through here, let's hit the big point here. So I go through here, and this removes everything. So if I go to instance, objects is 0, okay, and then I have 3 ZX objects, which is a bit weird, but okay, yeah, that makes sense, because I only have those things there. So I destroy all those objects. Oh, wait. I'm not clearing those objects, am I? Oh, that's why. Okay, so I have these 3 objects, and those 3 objects are kicking around, and that's the 3 objects that I'm adding to there. So I'm not actually removing these objects, so I want to clear this object as well. Okay, so I want to clear that, and then I want to do mobs. Oops, mobs. Clear. That's what it is. Okay, so I want to clear those. I want to destroy all those objects that are instanced in the scene, and then I also want to clear my list of those objects. It still doesn't explain why I'm getting black and white though. Let's figure that out. Right, so we go into here. Oh. Well, we're briefly getting it. My guess is that we're not going too far back enough. Actually, let's go to game controller. So we're at 248. Oh no, that's not, that should be 240, at least 240. But 240 is 16, so we need another, it's a 242, 232? I think 232. There we go, okay. And that's him there. Nice, okay. And he's colouring the screen very nicely. And then we go back this way. That should take us into this one here. Okay. I don't know. I need to check the existing game again, because when I come back in here, I'm now standing still, whereas I think the other one is a bit more fluid in that you're moving. So maybe we need to add that, as well as if you're moving, then keep moving. But so far it's fine. The only thing I want to do is inside Wally. Where are we? Wally mobs. One last thing is go grab the sprite renderer and so have private I'm gonna do sprite renderer, and we can do sprite dot flip x equals x is less than 0. So if we are if we're less than 0, then we want to face the opposite direction, just to make it look a little bit nicer. Because right now it's just we're facing the rightmost direction, but if we're moving left, yeah, there we go. Although it is flipping across that way there, so I don't want to like we're flipping on that x-axis there. So we need to figure that one out. That's a problem for another day. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Yeah, it shouldn't be that way. Yeah. Yeah, because if I go to scene, yeah. See, that's the problem, is that he's flipping out of. He's flipping along that point there rather than actually just flipping there. Slice tiled. I think we might have to just flip the sprite on him rather than flip on X. I don't think we can get around that. That's a problem for another one. This video is going on too long. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry, I wanted to get the room transition in, and yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to get. I need to figure a better way to do the building the levels, because this is taking too long, and that's kind of what's kind of preying in the back of my mind. So I'm going to have a think about that, and so that'll be the next video. Will be possibly a level editor. I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see how we go. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and share on social media. If you want timely reminders when I put new videos up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put one up. But thank you so much for watching again, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.